Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to do a quick tutorial for you on how to set up a Zoom meeting. So the first thing I want to do is obviously go to the website, which is zoom.us. And once I'm at the website, then I want to sign in. And you can typically sign in with either your district email, your CRY-ROP email, or whatever email you have an account set up for. For me, I specifically have one for my CRY-ROP email, so I'm going to go ahead and click sign in. My name and password are already saved in there. And this is the home screen basically of the meetings that I have. This is your profile, so kind of go through everything. This is your profile menu. If you want to change like your picture, some of the specifics about your account, you can do that here. Your meetings tab just kind of shows the meetings that you have, upcoming meetings, previous meetings. And then we'll skip to recordings. If you happen to record any of your Zoom meetings, they will populate here. Once they are done and recorded, you can download the files by clicking on More and then download those files there. And so what we're going to do now is set up a new meeting. And so the first thing I'm going to do is go to Meetings, and I'm going to click this icon, this tab here that says Schedule a New Meeting. And what I want to do is first name this meeting. So what I might do is, if I am a teacher, I might put like period 1, let's say game design at YHS, UPEPA High School. And we'll say school, I know, is starting on Thursday. We can have it start at 7. Now when you put the date and the time in, the meeting doesn't really have to wait until that time, or you can't start at the time. Basically, you can start the meeting whenever you want to start the meeting. Just putting in those dates and times, all that really does is that allows you to communicate to those who are attending when this meeting might take place. But you as the host, you can start this meeting at any time. And the same goes for the duration. You can say the meeting's for an hour, or you can even say the meeting is going to last for 24 hours. It really is up to you. We'll just do like 2 hours. And so again, as the host, you have the ability to determine how long these meetings are. This is just to inform the person who, if you're going to send them the invite, this is the information that will populate in that invite. And so the meeting ID is another area to where this is what populates those digits so that people can add your meeting. If they don't have the link, they can put these numbers in to find your meeting. I typically leave it at generate automatically. That way I don't have to think of numbers every time I do it. Passcode, this is something I do recommend. This is the passcode that you're going to give your students so they can join your meeting. We'll say for this one, I'm going to use game 2021, and then that will be the password that my students need to have to join this meeting. And we do want the waiting room enabled, so that what that does is that puts them in a holding spot. So once they join the meeting, it'll put them in a holding spot to where they don't see the video, they don't see the audio, they're in the meeting, but they're just kind of in this waiting room. And then you as the host, later on, they will be able to you will be able to admit them into the meeting as well. These are just some other options. You can choose to mute your participants once they enter. Some districts, I think, are requiring you to record the meetings. If that is the case, you can click on this. It'll automatically record once you start this meeting. So now that that's been set up, I've set up the name, when it's going to happen. I've added my password, my waiting room. I am going to add video for the host and the participant. What that means is as soon as they're on, their video will be on. Their audio, this allows them to either use their computer to speak, or they can also call in with the phone. And so my participants are muted as soon as they enter. That way we will see them, but we won't hear them automatically, and it is automatically being recorded. So after that's done, I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And as you can see, it gave me my link, shows me the options that I've selected. And then now what I can do is I can click on copy invitation, and I could even email this information here. Typically, I just send this beginning information. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to send an email to somebody to join me. So I'm going to email James. I'm going to say, please join my Zoom meeting. And then I'm going to paste the information in. So as you can see, it gives him period 1, game design, the date, time, and here's the link, and here's the meeting ID, and here's the password that he needs to join the Zoom meeting. If you just copy and paste it, it shows up there. If you go up to the end of the link and actually hit enter, it'll turn it into a hyperlink that your participants can click on. So I'm going to send that. And then now that James has the meeting invite and the information, I'm going to start this meeting. And the way I do that is just by clicking Start This Meeting. I'm going to join with my computer audio, which means I'm going to be able to hear with whatever speakers or headphones or whatnot I have plugged into my computer. So I'm going to use these headphones, that way I can hear. So now I can see James has received my email, James received the password, and now he is in the waiting room. I can look at the waiting room before I let him in. So James is waiting, I'm the host, and then now what I want to do is admit James into the Zoom meeting. And there he is. Welcome. So some other things, if let's say you want to have the meeting information, if you don't remember what it is, if you click on this icon in the top left, it'll tell you this is the meeting ID, you are the host, this was the password, and this is the numeric, I'm not sure what that means, telephone system. I think this is if you call in, that's what the number they would need. And then this is the Zoom link as well. So primarily what they'll need is the meeting ID and the password is the primary things that they'll need to enter. As you can see, it's already recording. I don't need to do anything to start it because I selected that box that says record automatically. I can pause the recording, but I'm just letting it record right now. So let me show you how to share your screen. What I want to do is go ahead and share a screen by clicking below here. And it gives me an option of what screen do I want to share. I have multiple windows open right now. I have Google open, I have Spotify open, Skype, email, all that stuff. But I'm just going to select screen 2 because you can see there's a number 2 here. And then my other screen, which you guys don't see, is screen number 1. I'm going to select screen 2. And so now James can see what you guys are seeing on his screen. Whatever I put in this window or on this monitor, my participants will be able to see. Some other things I can do, so I'm going to stop sharing. Some other things I can do is I can select so that multiple people can share their screen. So like if I want my students to be able to share a project that they made, or I want they created a presentation or a group project, I can select this option and that gives them the ability to share their screens as well. Breakout room capability, I can put my students into different breakout rooms, and so the way I would do that, let's say we had 30 kids in here. I wanted to do breakout rooms that have, and then I can have it to where it automatically sends them out to put 6 in each, like that. Or I can go through and assign them. So right now, James is the only person in. He is in breakout room number 1, but what I could do is move him to, one of the other 5 as well. Or I can add rooms that also. I'm going to show you the other way to do it. Recreate. I can do it manually. And so what manually would do is it would have a list of all of my participants. Then I can assign, who goes into each one. So let's say I want James to be in breakout room number 6. I would click assign click his name, and then he would be in breakout room number 6. And then you would do this. That's if you wanted to manually assign students. Again, if they're working on a project and you wanted to have them in specific areas, that's how you would do that. Other things to show you. So chat is another important one. If you click on chat, you can see here, let me kind of move this a little bit. Right now, I can say, hello, James. And if there's 30 people in the chat, everybody would be able to see that. Or I can choose a specific participant. Let's say I did have 30 kids, but I would needed to say something to one of my kids. I could just choose that student there, say, hello, it's great to see you today. And then again, that student would just get that chat from you as well. So James said hi. I know. Star Wars reference. Other than that, I'm trying to think what other important things. I mean, these are the reactions if you want to give a student a thumbs up, or some people see it as a clap, a high five, a hand raise. You might keep notification of that. James just did the thumbs up. And then this tells you, how many participants you have. And so that's doing the Zoom meeting, how to set it up in a nutshell. So I'm going to go and end this one. Thank you so much, Mr. Hattar. All right, so I ended the meeting. And now that my meeting is over, there's a few things that I can do. I see this is the meeting here, right? And now this one is still in my upcoming meetings because I have it assigned for Thursday, and it's not yet Thursday. It's only Wednesday, so it's not till tomorrow. But let's say I did have, like, this was period 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you don't want to make a link for every single day, every single period. What you could do is go to your previous meetings, and all the meetings I did have are still there. So here's a meeting I hosted on July 10th. If I click on that, as you can see, I can start this meeting all over again, and whoever has this link can go right back to that meeting. So that is how you can just create your links for your periods, but then just keep reusing them over and over and over again. That way your students don't have to get a new link from you every time you have a meeting. You just keep giving them the same link or have the link somewhere posted, and they just continue to use that same link. So chances are it will probably be in your upcoming meetings the first time you use it, but then after you've hosted it after that first time, it'll show up in your previous meetings here. So another thing you can do once you've finished your Zoom meeting is you can also do a report. And the way you can do a report of who was in the meeting itself. So the way you can do that is click on reports. Meeting report will view registration reports, whole reports for meetings. Usage report, view meetings, participants, whatnot. So this is what I want to pick a usage report. So I'm going to select that. And it's giving me all the meetings that I've done from the 10th to the 11th. And I can even go back further. Let's say I want to look at July. We'll do the end of July. Search for that. And you can see it gives me all the meetings that I have, and it gives me the times when they were created, when they were started, when they ended. And for this one, lasted 26 minutes. I'm going to click on participants, and if I click on participants, it'll even show me who was on, how long they were on there for. So I hosted a meeting for 26 minutes. Wendy was on with her iPhone for 1 minute, and again for 14 minutes. And I can even export this data into some sort of Excel file. So this is a great way to really go back and just be able to see, review your meetings, and then when, who was participating in them. So that was it. Hopefully this was great information for you. I hope it helps you in preparing your classrooms and getting ready to do your Zoom meetings. And I wanted to leave you with one last thing, which is the 3 Ps. Number 1 is to be patient. Please be patient with your students as they are learning how to use this technology, as they're adapting to see how the technology works, and even as they're playing around with some of the technology. But also be patient with yourself. It's okay for you to admit that you are just learning how to use this technology for yourself, and give yourself time to adapt to this and adapt to this new method of teaching. The second P is to be persistent. If it's not working right away, just keep trying it until you do figure it out. If your students are having a hard time with it, it's okay. Just keep trying and keep trying. If they're coming across challenges, or if you're coming across challenges, be patient and be persistent. Just keep trying new things and keep adapting. And then the last thing is remember to be professional. That's P number 3. Be professional in how you are working. Not only are all the students joining you in your classroom, you are joining them in all of their homes, which means a lot of times their siblings can hear the discussions that are going on, or their parents or grandparents or whatnot, or in other students that are in the room. And so even though you may not see them on camera, they might be able to hear everything you're saying. And as an educator, we want to continue to deliver professional education to all of our students out there. So again, that's it. I hope you have a great time. Hopefully this information was useful for you, and we will see you next time on the How To Do by CTE Teach.